Two homes in Hebron can have almost the same square footage, the same number of bedrooms, even be in the same neighborhood, and still sell for dramatically different prices. A lot of homeowners think value is mostly based on square footage, or what Zillow says, but in reality, there are a lot of different factors that impact what buyers are actually willing to pay. Things like location within the town, the layout, the updates, the condition, the lot usability, the market timing, the buyer psychology, the pricing strategy, and even how the home's presented online all impact value. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what impacts value here in Hebron, Connecticut, what matters most, what buyers are really paying attention to right now, and what many homeowners completely overlook. Number one is location. One of the biggest factors impacting a home value in Hebron is the location. And I don't just mean the town itself, I mean the location within town. Two homes can be very similar, but buyers may value them completely differently. See, depending on the road, the neighborhood, the privacy, traffic, proximity to town, and overall setting. So for example, homes on quiet roads or cul-de-sacs often appeal to more buyers than homes on busier roads, and therefore the same home on a cul-de-sac will sell for substantially more than the same home on a busier road. Also, privacy and usable outdoor space have become increasingly important over the past several years as people are now spending more and more time at home. And Hebron specifically, certain lifestyle features also command premiums. Things like Amsden Lake, neighborhood feel, and properties that have substantial usable land. So at the end of the day, buyers, they're not just buying a house, they're also buying a lifestyle that comes along with that house, and that impacts value. The second thing is the condition and updates, right? Another major factor impacting value is the condition and overall presentation of the home. Buyers today are paying a premium for homes that feel easy, meaning homes that feel clean, updated, and move-in ready. Kitchens and bathrooms still matter a lot, but also fresh paint, flooring, lighting, updated mechanicals, windows, roofing, and general maintenance all play a role in how buyers perceive value. One important thing, though, that homeowners should understand is that not every renovation gives a dollar-for-dollar return. Sometimes simple updates like paint, decluttering, landscaping, proper presentation have a much bigger impact than expensive custom upgrades that don't match buyer tastes. And in today's competitive market, deferred maintenance gets penalized super heavily. Buyers are already dealing with high interest rates, affordability pressures, so when they walk into a home and it just feels like it needs work, many mentally discount the property immediately. So a lot of value actually comes from how confident and comfortable buyers feel when they are walking through the home. They're thinking about what their future costs are going to be. And in today's market, homes that have been well updated, well taken care of, well maintained with newer mechanicals are going to create a bidding war. People are willing to pay well over list price and often as is condition or even waived home inspections for those properties. 3, layout and functionality. Now, layout and functionality also impact value much more than people realize. Square footage alone does not determine what buyers are willing to pay. I have seen smaller homes outperform larger homes simply because the layout worked better. See, buyers today, they tend to value open spaces, natural light, storage, mudrooms, home offices, usable basement, finished basement space, and flexible living areas. And here in Hebron, a lot of buyers are moving for lifestyle reasons. They're upsizing, working remotely, or they're looking for more space inside and outside the home. So homes that function well for everyday life, including entertaining, storage, kids, pets, home office, they often command stronger prices than homes that might technically be larger, but they feel less functional. Number 4 is going to be lot quality and land usability. In Hebron specifically, land and lot usability has a huge impact on value. Now, not all acreage is viewed equally by buyers. There's a huge difference between 5 usable acres and 5 acres that's steep, wet, or heavily wooded, and it's just difficult to use. Buyers are going to place way more value on flat, usable yard space for potential pools, outdoor entertaining areas, and overall functionality of the land. Things like wetlands, unusual topography, limited yard space, or difficult access are all going to impact how buyers perceive value, even if the lot size on paper sounds impressive. So when people compare homes strictly by acreage, they are often missing a big part of the picture. Number 5 is going to be the market condition and timing. Now, one thing that is super important to understand is that the market is constantly changing based on the market conditions. Value is not static, right? Interest rates, inventory levels, buyer demand, seasonality, and competition all impact what buyers are willing to pay at any given moment. For example, in the spring market here in Hebron, we often see more buyers in the market at the same time. Now that increased competition can potentially drive stronger offers, sometimes leading to bidding wars. During slower times of the year like winter, there are fewer buyers overall, but often the buyers who are looking are more serious and more motivated. So when people ask what a home is worth, the answer is really, it's what a buyer is willing to pay for it right now under the current market condition. And that is why timing and strategy matter so much in the overall price a home sells for. Number 6 is going to be pricing and marketing strategy. One thing many homeowners overlook is that value is not just determined by the house itself. It's also influenced by how the property is priced, how it's marketed, and how it's positioned when it hits the market. That strategy matters significantly. I have seen homes sell for dramatically different prices simply because one was priced and launched strategically, while the other was overpriced and marketed poorly and positioned incorrectly from the start. For example, overpricing can sometimes hurt the value because the property sits on the market longer. And in this competitive market, buyers begin saying, what's wrong with it? The listing loses momentum and nobody goes to see it, which forces price cuts. On the other hand, homes that are priced properly and marketed effectively often generate more attention, get more showings, have stronger buyer competition, and you have better negotiating leverage. The marketing matters so much more than ever today. Professional photography, video, social media, Zillow presentation, email marketing, open house strategy, all impact buyer exposure and the level of demand a property receives. At the end of the day, the goal is not just putting a home on the market, it's creating as much buyer interest and competition as possible, because that is what helps you maximize value. Number 7 is online presentation. One factor that has become incredibly important over the last several years is online presentation of a home. Today, the first showing happens online. Buyers are scrolling through listings on their phones long before they ever step foot in the house. And if they don't love it online, they are not going to see it in person. So professional photography, video, staging, cleanliness, lighting, and overall presentation absolutely impact how buyers see value. If the home looks dark, cluttered, poorly photoed, if there's poorly presented online, they are going to skip it entirely, even if it's a great house. Meanwhile, homes that are properly prepared, professionally presented, they're going to generate more attention and stronger offers. Presentation influences perception, and perception influences value. Number 8, what does not impact value as much as people think? Now, on the flip side, there are many things homeowners often think create value that in reality, they don't matter as much to buyers. For example, what the seller originally paid for the home usually has very little impact on the current market value. Emotional attachment also doesn't necessarily translate into value for a buyer. Even expensive upgrades don't always return what the homeowner expects if they don't align with what buyers actually want. And of course, Zillow estimates are not always accurate because they cannot fully account for the condition, the layout, the updates, the lot, the quality, the overall location within town, and how that compares with competing homes. See, at the end of the day, buyers compare your home against all the other options out there on the market. And that is ultimately what determines value. A lot of homeowners, they don't realize how differently two seeming similar homes can be perceived by buyers and ultimately sell for based on condition, layout, updates, lot characteristics, location within town, pricing, strategy, marketing, and even how the home's presented online. See, every property is different, and pricing and preparing a home properly in today's market takes a lot more than just looking at a Zestimate. So if you are thinking about selling and you want a more strategic look at your property beyond what an online algorithm says, feel free to reach out. Be happy to sit down with you to walk through your home and talk honestly about what's helping with value and what might be hurting in value and what today's buyers are really looking for here in Hebron. All my contact info is below. Feel free to call and reach out. We are here to help. Thanks for watching.